I'm Skaty with MCS, and today I have a video for you guys on the PTR. Let's check it out. I have the PTR right here, and we're gonna do some shooting today. And after that, we're gonna show you how to take the unit apart and do some maintenance on it. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna air it up. All right, a tank on, and you can see that the gauge is in the up position like this. You want the gauge to be out of the way as much as possible because when you pull back the charging handle, you can see that it can hit the gauge, and it may not cock back in the firing position. So now you can feel that it goes fire, and that's good. So when you engage it, make sure you have the tank about half a turn after the air tank is energized. That way the air tank does not plug up or cause the airflow to stop if you have the air tank in too far. Where it's not hitting the charging handle, and you can test it by pulling the charging handle like that. And that's when you know that the charging handle is fully pulled back. On loading on your magazine, we have two versions right here. This is the Helix version. You can use the loading rod that's provided. You just put into the magazine, push it all the way down, and that will lock the follower. And once that's done, you just drop your rounds in. That's pretty much it. On your DMAG version, this is for the shape projectile, and you just have to put the projectile down, push it down, and that's it. For loading first strike, the tail is very brittle, easy to break. So what you want to do is just hold around on the door and then use a screwdriver or a key to push down the door and then load the round in, just like that. All right, gonna shoot some shot right here to empty out the magazine. Right there. Rack it back. Put the fire. Do some shot. When the magazine is empty, the gun stops shooting. You can see that. For you to continue firing, you have to change the magazine, reload, and put it back in. Otherwise, the gun will stop shooting. All right, now I'm gonna show you how to take the unit apart and to maintenance and clean it. First thing you do, of course, take your air tank off. Pull back the charging handle. Push down the takedown pin and pull it out. Now open it up. The first thing you do is take out this O-ring. You don't want this to fall out and lose it. Push the takedown pin in front and then pull it out. Right there. Put your lower, and this is your upper. On the upper, you have your bolt, which you should put some oil on the O-ring after a few thousand shots. Otherwise, the upper, you don't have to do anything to it. It's nice and clean. You can put the bolt back. Put the pin through. You don't want the bolt to fall out. If it does, it can bend or warp, and it can cause your gun not to function well. On your lower, you can push a little takedown pin right there. Pull it out. And this is your magazine well. This is your anti-ball drop. On the back, remove out the locking pin, and then remove out your velocity housing. This is where you change out your velocity spring to different velocity, and it's also where you also adjust velocity. You can use your finger to rotate the pin counterclockwise to make this pin longer to increase velocity, and you back it out to make this pin shorter. That's to reduce velocity. You can also adjust from the outside using a 3mm wrench, and that will also adjust for you too. Your velocity housing, to push the pin on the side right there out, and then pull the pin out. And this is your valve assembly. And now your gun is disassembled. For the trigger assembly, you don't have to do anything to it. The trigger is set for the lifetime of the unit. If you need help, just contact us and we can help you with the trigger system. But other than that, this is all you need to do. For leaking wise, if you ever have a leak, it's more likely that this poppet seal right here, which we provide you an extra one with your seal kit, and we also provide extra O-rings for replacement. The nice thing about this gun is all the O-rings are the same size. Even the front on your bolt, they're all the same size. They're just different material, but they are fully interchangeable, And it's the same O-rings as your air tank. So you ever need an O-ring, you can interchange with them with air tank O-ring and with your all your component O-rings. So you're talking about 5 different O-rings over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then all the same O-rings, and they are the same O-rings as air tanks. You ever need one for your air tank, you can use it, or you can transfer your air tank O-ring onto any of these components. This part right here, this is the housing. It's also used the same O-ring, but this is not a critical part. It's just for holding the unit together, but it's not for sealing. All right, going to show really quick on how to put a unit back together. All right, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to put the valve assembly back. Just make sure it goes in right there, and put your front cover back, and put your pin back. That's it. On the back, you get your striker, the flat part of it, go in first. And what you want to do is you want to put into the firing position, and then use your thumb to push the striker forward at the same time as pulling the trigger. And then it goes right in. And now next you need to use the spring that's going in the back here, just push and then pull the trigger. It will move forward, just like that. Keep in mind that if you have a brand new unit, sometimes it's not broken in yet, you won't able to do it. And what you want to do is you use a screwdriver to push down the sear inside. If you need help with that, we have a separate video on how to do that. All right, I'm putting this center, that hole out. And then next you need to put a dampener in. And then put your velocity housing. And then put your retaining pin. Your mag well in. And then your anti-bar drop, just drop it in. Put the pin through. Lift it up. Now your anti-bar drop in the right position. Put your upper on. Your seal, your body seal. Your bolt. And you can, one thing to note, make sure your anti-bar drop is in the up position, not down like this. Sometimes if you install down like that, when you close it, this lever down will hit this part and your magazine can cause it to jam and break the little tap inside. Keep it up. All right, make sure your strike and rear position, you see the hole exposed. Okay, you can see this little gap between the upper and lower. Now you want to pull the charge handle slightly, and that will align the bolt and the striker. Now just push your pin back, and that's pretty much it. If you have your air tank, assemble it, and now your gun is ready for shooting again. All right, guys, if you have any question, comment, concern, visit our website, mcsus.com, and support you. Thanks for watching.